Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome to lesson number 10 of the 1000 English Collocations course. I am teacher Natalia Harchak and today I'm here to teach you about sports vocabulary. So, before we start our lesson, I would like to tell you a little bit about the structure of this activity. I have divided this activity into 7 sections. The first 4 sections will focus on intermediate and upper intermediate vocabulary. And the last 3 sections of the lesson will focus on more advanced vocabulary. So if you are an intermediate or an upper intermediate student, you really need to stay here with me for the first sections of the lesson. And if you are an advanced student, please feel free to speed up the video during the four first sections, and then please pay attention to the last 3 sections because the vocabulary I have for you is really important, okay? So the first part of our lesson will focus on speaking, okay? It's a warm-up activity. I have some pictures on the screen that represent some really important sports events in my life, not because I practice these sports, but because I used to watch them, okay? So the very first 2 pictures are really special to me. Okay, there was this guy called Ayrton Senna. He died when he was only 32 years old in 1994. He was a Formula 1 racer, and he was a very special person in Brazil. I was born and raised in Brazil, as you already know, and a special memory I have of him is that he was a great racer. That's the first thing. Second thing is that he had this ability of getting everybody together, you know, in front of the TV to watch the races, and everybody was super patriotic. It was so cool. Families would get together and have fun. Like I remember spending like all day long at my grandparents' house. We would have breakfast, lunch, and dinner and have fun with the family. And when he died, it was so tragic because everybody in my family and so many other Brazilians felt like we had lost a family member. It was so sad, but he was and he is an extremely special person. And oh my gosh, this was so cool and bizarre at the same time. So the FIFA World Cup in 1994. I was born in 1985. Okay, so I was pretty young, but I remember my friends and family were watching the final game, and like Brazil and Italy were playing against each other, and the game was tied. Okay, that means that Italy and Brazil had the same score, the same number of points. And I remember we were so tense. Everybody was so tense. And Roberto Baggio, this player here, he missed a goal. Okay, he missed a goal, and that's when Brazil won the World Cup. And then Brazil became a 4-time champion, and everybody was very happy. Obviously, the Italian players were not. I really like Italy. I have Italian students, so sorry guys, I'm talking about this, but it was a really special thing to us Brazilians. And well, we were super happy in 1994, but in 2014 there was a home game. It was another FIFA World Cup, and it was held in Brazil. This event was held in Brazil, meaning it happened in Brazil, and Germany hammered Brazil. Brazil got trashed by Germany. What does this mean? This means that Germany scored a lot of points and Brazil didn't. Okay? So it was a terrible, terrible loss. Brazil was really defeated. And Germany scored 7 goals. And Brazil scored 1. It was terrible. And I believe this was the last time I watched a game. I don't know. I wouldn't say that because I watched games after that. But I was not as excited about World Cups after that, I have to say. So it was really sad. And the very last picture is showing a volleyball team from my hometown. Okay, the name of the team is Suzano. Suzano is the name of the city and the name of the team as well. And this picture is really special to me because it makes me think of the time when I would go to games with my high school friends, and even though I don't really play volleyball very well, I loved watching it. It was really, really cool. So, well, this first activity focuses on storytelling. All right, so these are pictures that are special to me, but I would like you to think about some sports events that were special to you. Maybe you play some sport. Maybe you had the opportunity to go to a live sports event. So whatever it is, if you are a private student, I will ask you in class about that. Okay, so let's move on to the second part of our lesson now. Okay, so this section of the lesson will focus on grammar and vocabulary. I would like you to do me a favor. As usual, I ask my students to close their eyes when I read a text for the first time, and then tell me how much they understand. So I always ask my students that. And then, if possible, go back to, as this is a video, I would like you to rewind the video and listen to me reading while you read the text on the screen. Okay? Can you do that for me? Make sure you ask yourself how much you understood, because when you finish this lesson, you should be able to understand much more than you did when you first started the lesson. Okay? Are you ready? Close your eyes. Listen. The first important collocation involving sports is when to use the verbs play, do, and go. We typically use play for team sports. You play soccer, play basketball, play tennis, play baseball, and play golf. The verb do is used for more individual sports. You do yoga, do gymnastics, do martial arts, and do aerobics. Also, in more general terms, you do exercise. Another common individual exercise is to lift weights. The verb go is used with most activities that end in ing. You go swimming, go biking, go surfing, go rock climbing, go bowling, and go fishing. With the team sports, we can use the word game or match, a soccer game, basketball game, a tennis match, etc. You can win the game, lose the game, or tie the game. That's when the final score is 1-1 or 2-2, for example. A team can play a home game when they play in their own stadium or field, or an away game when they play at the opposing team's stadium or field. When there are many teams that are playing many games to see which one is the best, we call this a tournament. When one team is winning in the middle of the game, for example, 3-1, we say that that team has the lead. However, the other team can make a comeback, score points from a losing position, and take the lead. For example, 4-3. With the sports that use do and go, we typically use the word competition. A gymnastics competition, a martial arts competition, a surfing competition, an ice skating competition, etc. The exception is sports where you go from one place to another, like running, biking, and swimming. In that case, we often call that event a race. Athletes can enter a competition and try to win first place. Some athletes try to enhance their performance with illegal substances such as steroids. But if they fail a drug test, they'll be disqualified from participating. If the athlete is performing well, they may achieve a personal best, and if they perform better than anyone ever has in the past, then they could even break the world record or set a new world record. If they get injured, however, they might have to withdraw from the competition. That means voluntarily leave the competition. Okay, how did you do? So let me know when you see me next, okay? Let's move on to the third part of the lesson. Now we are going to talk about the meaning and form of the words you saw in the text. So first of all, you need to know that we have three main verbs we normally use to talk about sports. And these verbs are the verb play, do, and go. Here are some collocations with these verbs. So you use the verb play generally when you talk about team sports and when you keep score, meaning there are points that go with the game. Okay, so there are two teams competing against each other. Listen, to play soccer, to play basketball, to play tennis, to play baseball, to play golf, to play hockey. All right, and the verb do is normally used when we talk about individual sports and activities, and you don't necessarily keep points, you don't keep score for those, not necessarily. So you do exercise. I would like to mention that the expression do exercise isn't as commonly used as the verb to exercise or to work out. I would like to read this paragraph here so you understand it better. To exercise and to work out are both very common expressions used to describe engaging in physical activity to improve health and fitness. To do exercise is correct, but less commonly used than the other two phrases. Generally, to exercise is a broader term, while to work out often implies a more structured or intense physical activity session. Okay, so if you want to talk about general things, you just say exercise. And workout is something planned, something structured, something more intense. All right? Okay, so you can do yoga, do gymnastics, do martial arts, do aerobics, and do weight training or do weightlifting or lift weights. So obviously this one does not really use the verb do, but I have this here because I would like you to know that if you say I do weight training or I do weightlifting, is the same as to lift weights. Actually, lift weights is way more common than the other ones. Okay, and what does that mean? So I actually have some weights. I have some weights here to show you. I have a dumbbell. Okay, so look, I'm lifting the dumbbell. And then I also have a kettlebell. This is called a kettlebell. Okay, so you can lift a kettlebell as well. And obviously there are a lot of objects that you can find at a gym that can help you with your weight training. All right, let's see. Go. You basically use this verb with words that end in ing. For instance, go swimming, go biking, go surfing, go rock climbing, go bowling, go fishing. Bowling. Yeah, that's considered to be a sport in some countries, and fishing as well. Okay, so let's see the general concepts. I have a lot of words that are in the text here with their definitions. So let's see what they are. A contest. This word is not in the text, but I would like to give you a second word, a synonym for competition. Okay, so contest is a competition or challenge between rivals. Competition, a contest to determine a winner based on skill or performance. Okay, sports events. So you can say you're going to see a match or a game. So let's see the difference. A match is a series of games to determine a winner. Okay, and a game is a single one sports event or part of a match. Okay, so a match is a series and a game is one unit. Okay, I don't know if you knew that, but there is a difference. Then we have the word tournament. Tournament is a series of games involving many teams progressing through rounds. A championship is the highest level of a tournament to decide the winner of a title. So depending on the sport you're talking about, the word round can have different meanings. For example, in boxing, round is basically the interval between one fight and another. But in soccer, for example, one round of games would be more than just one game. There are usually groups of soccer teams that compete against each other, and then as Some of them are eliminated. Then there are other rounds to short list, basically to make the selection of teams smaller. Okay, and then there is the final game. So that's when they decide who the champion will be, the winner. Okay, so race is a type of competition focused on speed, where the fastest participant to reach a goal or complete a course wins. For example, I was talking about Formula 1. Formula 1 is focused on speed, so we normally say Formula 1 racing. Running is a type of race. Okay, a marathon is something that we normally hear about. That's a type of race. Okay, so game outcomes and achievements. So the word outcome means result. Okay, score is the same as points. So points or goals achieved in a game. First place, highest ranking or position, and of course we have second place, third place. Okay, then we have the game locations. Home game is a game played in a team's own stadium. Not every team has their own stadium, but a lot of really famous teams do. And an away game is the opposite. It means to play in an opposing team's stadium. Then some vocabulary about the participants. Athlete. Listen, athlete. A person trained in sports or physical activities. Who is your favorite athlete? Do you have one? I don't really have one right now, but I really look up to, I admire Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, so he's a soccer player from Portugal. Opponent, rival or competitor in a contest. Loser, the opposite of winner. So a participant or team that doesn't win a specific game or contest. And a winner, a participant or team that wins a specific game or contest. The word winner is more general, so you could say you are a winner if you're playing sports, if you are playing like a board game at home. So the champion would be a winner, however, is a person who has a title. Okay, so the title given to the best participant or team in a tournament, league, or season. And then we have some verbs, some competition actions. Listen, enter a competition. It means to register to compete. Okay, to become an official competitor. To win a game, so it means to outscore the opponent. So outscore means to have more points than the opponent. Lose a game means to be outscored. So you can also be outscored by the opponent and then you lose. To tie a game is when it's the score is the same for both teams, so equal scores between opponents. Have the lead is when you are ahead in score, so you have more points than the opposing team. Okay, and if you take the lead, so imagine this situation. So we are running, okay? And I am going really fast, and then suddenly you go faster than me. You take the lead. Now you are ahead of me. You overtake the event, okay? And if I make a comeback, it's the next expression. If I make a comeback, I recover the time. You know what I mean? Like I basically start running faster and I catch up with you and then I get ahead of you. So now I have the lead. You are behind me. So I made a comeback. I recovered. Okay? Performance. Enhance your performance. Enhance one's performance. Anytime you see the word one's, it means that you have to substitute this word by the possessive pronoun. For example, enhance my, your, his, her, their performance. Okay, so enhance means to improve. You need to improve your abilities beyond your natural levels, what you already know. Perform well. achieve a high level of success or results. Perform poorly, achieve results below expected standards, or you can say underperform, okay? Achieve one's personal best. So if you are competing, you are an athlete, and you want to achieve your personal best, it's the highest achievement by an individual in a specific activity. To break the world record, surpass the highest recorded achievement globally. So you're the best in the whole world if you break the world record. And if you set a new world record, you establish a new highest global achievement. Okay, so if you break the world record, you set a new world record, and then another person, or even you can beat your own record. You can try to achieve an even higher level of performance. Health and regulations. Unfortunately, in sports, there are some people who are not very honest, and sometimes they use illegal substances. This means that they really shouldn't use certain things, such as steroids. Okay, so let's see what that means. So illegal substances, banned performance-enhancing drugs. So performance-enhancing, remember the word enhance means to help, right? To improve. So a drug or drugs that help performance, that improve performance. And steroids are chemicals that boost, that they improve, they help muscles grow faster. So chemicals that boost muscle growth and let me fix this, and athletic performance. Fail a drug test. So when people need to register for a competition, they have to go through a drug test. And sometimes they fail, because if they are using drugs, obviously these substances will be detected in their blood. Okay, so if the test comes back positive, they cannot compete. All right, so test positive for prohibited substances. Okay, be disqualified, to be removed from competition for rules violation. So if you are an athlete and you use drugs and you fail a drug test, you will be disqualified. I'm pretty sure actually you're going to be disqualified. Yeah, okay. Get injured. So if you have physical harm or damage, so let me see, something else that I remembered. There was a very famous soccer player in Brazil. I don't remember how old he is now, but it doesn't matter. His name is Ronaldinho. Like some people say that here in the US. It's funny. So, and he hurt his knee, and he was never able to play again after that. So he got injured. Okay. Unfortunately, he had to retire. He had to stop playing forever. And okay, in that case, he wasn't disqualified. He wasn't removed from the competition because he violated a rule. However, he had to withdraw from the competition because his knee hurt so bad. He said, no, I really need to leave. I don't have a choice. So he voluntarily left the competition. Now, we're going to focus on pronunciation. I'm not going to read the text again, but I would like you to pay attention to how I pronounce each of these words here. Listen. Collocation, collocation. Typically, typically. Team sports, team sports. Soccer, soccer. Basketball, basketball. Tennis, tennis. Baseball, baseball. Golf, golf. Individual sports, individual sports. Yoga, yoga. Gymnastics, gymnastics. Martial arts, martial arts. Aerobics, aerobics. Exercise, exercise. Lift weights, lift weights. Activities, activities. Swimming, swimming. Biking, biking. Surfing, surfing. Rock climbing, rock climbing. You don't need to pronounce the B, okay? Let me actually change the color here for you to remember that. Climbing, the B is silent. Bowling, bowling. Don't say bowling because we have the word ball, right? Like this. This is a ball, and this would be bowling. All right. Game, match, etc., lose, tie, score, home game. Please don't say homey game, okay? Home game. Own. Most people say one. It's own. Stadium. Field. Opposing. Call. This looks like a very simple word, but most people get this wrong. It's not cow, okay? It's call. Tournament. Middle. Lead. It's a long E sound. Listen. Lead. Come back. Competition. Exception. Don't forget to pronounce the X, okay? It's exception. Race. Athletes. Some people say athletes. It's not athletes, it's athletes, okay? Enhance. Performance. Illegal substances. This is another one that people usually get wrong. Substances. The stress syllable is the very first one, okay? Such as, not suck as, such as. Fail, disqualified, achieve, world record. All right, advanced students usually get this word wrong as well. So listen, world, it's a hard one. World. Try to say it fast. World. Injured. Withdraw. Voluntarily. And leave. So this one is also a little tricky. Some people say live, and there's a huge difference between live and leave. Live is spelled like this, L-I-V-E. Live means to reside in a place. For example, I live in the United States. Where do you live? This is leave. I need to leave soon. I need to go. I need to leave. Okay? All right. So now that you got to this point of the lesson, I would like you to ask yourself, how much can I understand now? All right? Of course, you have to come here and read the text one more time. And then you answer these questions. How much do I understand now? Okay, Natalia explained some or actually most of the words. There are some expressions I need to explain in the next section, but you should be able to understand way more now than you did when you first started the lesson. Okay, so let's see the next section of the lesson. Language in context. Now, if you are an intermediate student, I told you that you can leave the video, okay, so you don't have to watch the rest, but I highly recommend you stay here for this section and the conversation section because you need to see the vocabulary in context. Now, the words in green are words that are new, okay? Now, you don't have to remember all these new words, but you do need to see the language in context, because if you learn vocabulary and you never learn how to put this vocabulary in a sentence, then you're wasting your time. Seriously. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Language in context. If you're not sporty, you aren't into either practicing or watching sports. So, sporty is a nice expression. I am not very sporty, meaning I usually don't practice sports and I don't really watch sports either. Okay? Are you sporty? If you support or root for a particular team, you are a huge fan of it. So what does that mean? Root for? Yes, go. All right. I will give you an example. I was telling you about the Brazilian national team, right? So when I was younger, I used to root for Brazil all the time. Okay, and now sometimes there are games that I don't even watch, but I root for Brazil because I'm Brazilian, right? But I'm not a huge fan of soccer. All right, I support the team. I root for a team. So that's how you talk about that. A contest in sports is often seen as a test of skill between two teams or athletes. Athletic competitions motivate participants to excel and enhance their skills. Excel means to improve, to do your best, okay? A match consists of multiple rounds where teams compete to be the overall winner. Okay, overall means the ultimate, like the very, very best person in the competition. Each basketball game moves team closer to the championship. So as you win games, you get closer to the final game, and as a result, you get closer to possibly winning the championship. Okay? The tournament brought together regional soccer teams, each aiming for the title. They were focusing on the title. Winning the championship symbolized the team's skills and teamwork. Teamwork is when people work together. Okay? Teamwork. The race was thrilling, exciting, with the lead changing several times before the finish line. Remember, take the lead. I am ahead of everybody. Then you are ahead of everybody. So if the lead changes several times, you cannot clearly see who will win the competition. You don't know. You only know when you see the finish line, and then you get to see the winner. Okay, scoring the winning goal. So when you get that last point, to score means to have a point. Scoring the winning goal secured the team's victory in the final game. Okay, playing a home game gave the team a psychological advantage. An away game challenges a team to adapt to different environments and hostile crowds. So people who are not very nice. They're not nice, okay? Athletes spend significant time training and honing. Hone is like perfecting, making it better, making it perfect. Honing their sports skills. The opponent in the final match was known for their strategic play and strong defense. Despite their efforts, the team ended up as the loser in a closely contested final. So it was really, really difficult because both teams were really good. Okay, so the winner of the tennis match celebrated their hard-earned victory. So they worked really hard. Hard-earned means to work hard for something. With joy and relief. Joy, and relief is like, we won this. Okay, we won the game. As the champion of the National League, the team earned respect and admiration from fans, supporters, and rivals alike. The athlete who finished in first place showcase is like to show, remarkable endurance and speed. Endurance is resistance. Endurance. Athletes must meet qualifying standards before entering a competition, so they need to have everything that is necessary for them to be able or capable to join a competition, okay? To win a game, players must outscore their opponents. They need to have more points. Outscore means to have more points than the other team, okay? Players must outscore their opponents through skill, strategy, and teamwork. Losing a game is disappointing but offers valuable lessons and motivation for improvement. A tie game means both teams scored equally, leading to a draw. That's another way to say that a game is tied. Okay, so a draw. Without a clear winner. Having the lead puts pressure on the opposing team. Taking the lead requires overcoming the opponent's score and shifting is like changing the momentum of the game. Momentum is like when things are flowing very well, that's a momentum. And if you need to break that, if you need to shift that, you need to stop that person from winning. You need to stop that person from being ahead of you. You need to shift the momentum. Okay, you need to stop that. Making a comeback from a losing position demonstrates resilience and determination. Athletes enhance their performance through rigorous training, proper nutrition, and mental preparation. Every athlete aims to perform well and achieve their personal best in competitions. Performing poorly it makes athletes to review and adjust their performance. So they start reflecting, I'm not doing this very well, I need to improve that. Okay, breaking the world record sets a new standard in the sport. Yeah. It makes people see that others can do better. So it sets a new standard. Setting a new world record is an extraordinary milestone in an athlete's career. So I'd like to stop here for a minute to explain this word. This can be literal or it can be an expression. So a milestone is basically a mile mark. What is that? It's usually a sign on the road, like on the side of a road, that tells you the distance from where you are to another place or the distance that you have already covered. Okay, so that's a milestone. And this expression is used to talk about very specific, unique moments in someone's life. For example, graduating from college was a milestone for me. So it was a very special event, something that I accomplished. Okay, something that was really great, something that was very satisfying. Okay, so setting a new world record is definitely a milestone. It's not something that happens every day. Okay. The use of illegal substances undermines the integrity of sports. So this has the potential of destroying something. Steroids are banned in sports due to their potential to artificially enhance performance. So it's not fair to people who compete without using drugs to have a person who uses steroids. And this person has more strength, the person is faster, not fair, right? So let's see. Athletes who fail drug tests face penalties, including suspension or disqualification. Being disqualified from a competition is a major setback for any athlete. So a setback is a loss. Okay, so if you take 3 steps ahead and you have something happens and you have a setback, you have to step back. Okay, you have to go back to where you were before and try to improve that. So it's a setback. Getting injured, getting hurt, can halt. Halt is like stop an athlete's progress, requiring recovery time. So you need time to feel better again. An athlete may withdraw, be removed from the competition due to injury or other personal reasons. Sorry guys, I said be removed, but actually the person leaves voluntarily. I need to withdraw from the competition. I voluntarily leave. All right. So these can be a little difficult for intermediate students. I understand that, but for advanced students, you always need to try to find other ways to say the same thing. Find synonyms for everything because they can help you speak better. Okay, so let's move on to the conversation section of this lesson. All right, conversation practice. This one is just about like reading the questions that you will have to answer during your private classes. Okay, but it's always good to see how you can actually use the vocabulary that you have just learned in context, so you can talk to other people about this topic. Okay, so listen. Do you prefer watching sports on TV or live? Do you support or root for any particular teams? Have you ever participated in a professional or amateur sports contest? Amateur is like not professional, okay? How do athletic competitions motivate you or people you know? Can you describe a memorable match you've watched or played in? How do you feel when your favorite team advances closer to the championship? Have you ever followed a tournament? Tell me about it. What does winning a championship mean to you or the team you root for? Tell me about a time when you experienced a thrilling race. What made it unforgettable? What was an unforgettable winning goal someone scored in a match you watched? Do you think playing a home game gives a team some advantage? Why or why not? What are the challenges of playing an away game? How much time do you think an athlete should spend training? Have you ever faced a tough opponent? Tough means difficult. What was the outcome? What was the result? How do you handle being the loser in a tight competition? Okay, so how do you deal with losing? Do you feel sad? Are you okay with it? Tight competition, difficult competition. Do you feel like you always have to be the winner in a competition? Are you competitive? What does being a champion of a league signify to you? Does it matter to you? How can someone improve their endurance and speed in sports? Have you ever met qualifying standards for any competition? What strategies do you think are most effective to win a game? How do you deal with the disappointment of losing a game? What are your thoughts on a tie game? Is it fair or unsatisfying? How does having the lead in a game affect players, in your view, in your opinion? Can you share a story where someone had to take the lead to win? What does making a comeback in a game show about a team or player? How do you enhance your performance in any activity? What personal achievement are you most proud of in sports or any other area, really? Tell me about a milestone that you reached, okay? How do you react and adjust when you perform poorly? Can you remember someone who broke the world record in a sport? Can setting a new world record be considered the peak, like the top, okay? The peak of an athlete's career? What are your thoughts on the use of illegal substances in sports? How do you feel about the ban on steroids? What should be the consequences for athletes who fail a drug test? How would being disqualified from a competition affect an athlete's career? Have you or someone you know ever had to stop an activity due to getting injured? What reasons might lead an athlete to withdraw from a competition? Okay, so at this point, if you are intermediate student or upper intermediate student, you can leave this video. You don't have to watch the rest because this is focused on advanced students. But if you are determined to learn more English, you can stay here with me, okay? All right, so now we're gonna talk about ball idioms, okay? I love idioms. And I need to actually show you that I have a ball here, and I will try to demonstrate how to use these expressions, but also the movement that are covered here in each of these expressions, okay? The movement of the ball. Okay, before we do that, I would like to show you some pictures here that will help you understand some vocabulary you will find in the expressions. So the first one, ball, super simple, right? A ballpark. Ballpark is usually like a stadium place where people play ball sports. It could be anything, but normally when I hear the word ballpark, people normally refer to like a baseball stadium, okay? Stadium, tennis court, a ballpark. I have this picture twice, I don't know why. Throw, okay? Throw. And catch. If somebody throws a ball, you catch it, okay? Drop. The ball falls, drop. Bounce is this movement, like the up and down movement, like a basketball or what other sports? Okay, handball, like you usually need the ball to bounce, okay? Run, juggle. Juggle is when you have a lot of balls and you try to do this and you cannot drop any of them. Okay, I can't juggle. Carry. Okay, so if you carry a ball, you do this. All right, carry. And that's it. Let's take a look at the expressions now. Drop the ball. If you drop the ball, so let's think about volleyball. What's the purpose of volleyball? You need to get the ball to the other side of the net. So there's a net here, right? When people are playing volleyball. So you need to get the ball to the other side of the net, and you need to make the ball touch the ground. So if that happens, you score a point. But if you accidentally drop the ball, you lose a point. Okay? So to drop the ball means to make a mistake or fail to fulfill a responsibility. So he really dropped the ball on that project at work. So of course, we're using the expression here in a business situation. So it's not literal. Get the ball rolling. So like imagine if we're watching like a soccer game. So if the ball starts rolling, the game starts. Okay, it's initiated, it starts. So to get the ball rolling means to start something or get a process underway. Let's get the ball rolling. So let's start this. Let's get the ball rolling on the new initiative, on the new project, on the new whatever. Okay, the ball is rolling, so something is already happening, indicating that a project or initiative has started and is progressing. With the project plan approved, the ball is rolling on our new product development. Okay, have a ball. This one doesn't make any sense. Have a ball is like to have fun, to have a blast. It's another way to say have fun. Blast is like an explosion. Okay, an explosion of fun. Have a ball. We had a ball at the company Christmas party yesterday. You could also say we had fun. We had a blast at the party yesterday. The ball is in your court. So remember, court is the area. Actually, you can use the word court to talk about basketball and tennis. Okay, so a court is like a hard surface. It's different from like a soccer field, because a field usually has grass. Grass is a plant, right, that you normally see in soccer stadiums. I will show a picture here for you to understand what I'm talking about. Grass. An area covered with grass is called a lawn. Lawn. All right, so it's different from that. Let me see. So the ball is in your court. So it's your responsibility now. Okay. It's your decision or turn to act next. It's your turn. I've given you my opinion. Now the ball is in your court. Now it's your turn. Okay. On the ball. If you are on the ball, you have the ball, right? You are alert, you are competent, you are efficient. So you need to be on the ball to catch all the details in this contract. So you need to pay attention, okay? You need to be competent, you need to be efficient. And the opposite would be off the ball. So if you lose the ball in the game, you are not paying attention, basically. You're off the ball. Not paying attention or being less alert. He was a bit off the ball during the meeting this morning. Okay. Being the 8 ball. I was reading about this expression. Apparently, it comes from pole. You know, that I don't know, I don't have a pole ball here, but normally you have a stick, you try to hit that ball, and the ball goes into like a pocket. I will show you a picture here. Pole. The 8 ball. Okay, so behind the 8 ball, in a difficult or unfavorable position. After losing our biggest client, we are really behind the 8 ball now. Throw a curveball. So this comes from baseball. So what's a curveball? Okay, this is not really a baseball, but it's a smaller ball, and this will help me explain this better to you. So when you see a baseball game, normally there's a person who throws the ball, right? So a curveball, it's like literally what you see on the screen. So it's like this. And it's much more difficult for you to catch that ball than it would be if the person threw the ball like this, straight at you, okay? So curveball. So to introduce an unexpected difficulty, okay, let's see. The sudden change in regulations through a curveball for our project. Keep your eye on the ball. So if you keep your eye on the ball, you stay focused. You cannot lose the ball, okay? Stay focused on the task at hand. You need to keep your eye on the ball if you want to succeed. Focus. Keep your eye on the ball. Play hardball. To act aggressively or ruthlessly. So a person who is ruthless doesn't think about anybody. They don't worry, they don't care about other people's feelings. Okay? So some people are very ruthless. They play hardball because they want to get something done. They won't listen to anybody. Okay? So we need to play hardball to win this negotiation. Okay? We cannot be flexible. Basically. In the ballpark. Okay, so this is a ballpark. Okay, and this we normally use this word to talk about estimates, approximate numbers within a certain range or approximately. Okay, so your estimate is in the ballpark. It's an approximate number, but we need to get the exact numbers. Okay, we don't want just the ballpark figure. Ballpark figure. Figure is another word for number. I don't know if you knew that, but an estimated number or amount. Listen, can you give me a ballpark figure? It's like, can you give me an idea of how much this will cost? I don't have the exact price, but just give me a ballpark figure. I need to know if this amount of money is in my budget, because if I don't have money, I can't really get this project started. Okay, so a whole new ball game. This is a good expression. A completely different situation or challenge. Moving from graphic design to software development. This is so different. This is a whole new ball game. Okay, for example, I am an English teacher. Imagine if I become a graphic designer. Like, wow, like you went from being an English teacher to being a graphic designer? Wow, that's a whole new ball game. Yes, I had to start everything again. No, this is not going to happen, guys. I'm going to be here teaching English for many years, I hope. Okay, so ball in hand. Also very obvious. Like if you have a ball in hand, it means that you have control or an advantage in a situation, okay? So with all the evidence we've collected, we've gathered, we now have the ball in hand, okay? Carry the ball. If you carry the ball, you have the responsibility of carrying the ball from one side of the field to another side. But obviously this is not a literal thing, so it means to take responsibility for getting something done, okay? So it looks like I'll have to carry the ball on this project since no one else is available. Okay, that's the way the ball bounces. So think about this. If a ball bounces, it goes up and down. You don't know exactly where the ball will go, right? Will end up. You don't know. So things don't always go as planned. You planned for things to go a certain way, and then they don't happen that way. They happen another way. So a good expression that you can use for that is, that's the way the ball bounces. Like you can't control the situation. I didn't get the job, but that's the way the ball bounces. You know, it is what it is. That's a very common thing people say. I find this to be a little annoying actually, but that's the way the ball bounces. I can't control people, right? There you go. Okay, take the ball and run with it. Like when you see an American football game, you know, if somebody take the ball, they have to run with it, right? So they can have a touchdown. I don't know if you guys watch American football. I don't really understand the rules. I know the basics, but that's basically where this expression came from. So take the ball and run with it. To eagerly means like excitedly. Accept a responsibility or idea and carry it forward. So you do it. He took the ball and ran with it, developing the concept into a full-fledged plan. So he turned something small into something incredible, something amazing, all right? Juggling too many balls. Well, so if someone is trying to juggle balls, if they have too many, they will probably drop these balls. Remember in the beginning of this section of the lesson, I said drop the ball is something bad. Okay, you failed. So if you are juggling too many balls, you have too many things to do, okay, at the same time. And this can lead to mistakes or failure. For example, some people juggle too many balls, such as work, taking care of a child, paying bills, taking care of a family. Yeah, juggling too many balls. Okay, so we are juggling too many balls with all these concurrent projects, risking our team's efficiency. So it doesn't have to be about personal life. It doesn't have to be always about business life. It could be a mix of things as well. Okay, so and the last expression of the day, to put the ball back in play. So sometimes, I'm gonna give you another example here. Let me see. Baseball. Whenever somebody throws a ball during a baseball game, maybe someone will hit the ball with a bat. Okay, so the name of that stick that people use to hit a ball with is called a bat. Sometimes the ball goes really far away, so the ball is out of the game at this point, and somebody needs to pick up the ball and literally put it back in the game, right? So if you put the ball back in play, it means that it means to continue, to resume. To resume activities or efforts, especially after a pause. Okay, so there was a pause, and now you need to continue. So. And that's a setback, right? When you have to wait for the game to restart. So after the budget cuts, it's time to put the ball back in play and focus on our core, most important initiatives. And that's it, guys. Look, you guys have learned 20 expressions that contain the word ball. I love expressions. I think they are great. That's how most native speakers talk to each other, and many times when people don't understand what's being said in a conversation, it's usually because of this, because of idioms or phrasal verbs. And that's it. So this lesson ends here. If you are getting ready for an IELTS test, please contact me. I can give you the links to these videos. And this lesson was developed by me, except for page number 2, the grammar section. Okay, so I hope you liked what you saw here. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me and I will help you with whatever you need. Thank you for watching the video. See you next class. Bye bye.